Hello and welcome back to Dr. Iceblaze's Minecraft tutorial, Survival Basics. In this second installment, we're going to cover the next set of topics needed to keep you alive and progressing. First, we're going to improve and expand upon your current toolkit. Then we're going to build a basic farm so that you can be easily fed. And finally, we're going to end up talking a little bit about storage and organization to make things more easy to find as you progress through the game. So let's dive right in. So we left off, it was nighttime, there was a little zombie knocking on our door, apparently he got bored and left. I did expand a little bit our original base so that we have a little higher roof, and in the process of doing so, lo and behold, found a little bit more coal. Now, ideally, we'd want to wait until morning to go out, and to be honest, that's probably what you should do. Typically speaking, not to waste time, what I'll do in a case like this, since I usually have a base that's built into the side of a cliff, I can start kind of digging down and seeing if I can find any more coal, which should pretty much be your first priority. So if you weren't lucky enough to find any like I did, just kind of nestled here in your actual base as you built it, it's usually a good idea to either expand your base in either any direction, up, down, out, or to start to build a little tunnel down, which we were going to eventually do anyways, and then hope that you happen upon coal. In the interest of time, I'm not going to do this, and oh, looks like it's almost daytime. The moon's going down, that's a good indicator. So when the moon's going down, you know the daytime is on the horizon, and then obviously on the flip side, when the sun's going down, it means nighttime is close. So we'll return in just a second when it's daytime. Alright, well fortunately that didn't take too long. So here we are, back in the daytime, it's nice and pretty. So the first thing we're going to do, and jump right on it, is we're going to actually improve upon our toolkit. So, the simplest way to do this, obviously now we have a little bit of cobblestone, which we used to make our furnace before. We're actually going to use to make the majority of our tools from here on out until we have a reasonable supply of iron, which will supplant that. So, this basic configuration of 2 sticks, one placed on top of the other, is pretty much the common configuration for nearly every tool you'll make, from the stone pickaxe to the shovel, to a woodcutter's axe, and finally to a hoe, which we'll be using today extensively as we build a farm. And the final tool that you're going to probably want to always have handy is a sword, of course. So there we go. That's your next level of tools. Now cobblestone, since it's so abundant, will probably be the tool you use the most. We'll talk about even more advanced tools later, but for the most part, cobblestone will get you pretty far in this game. So what I like to do and have handy all the time is my configuration of tools, pretty much in this particular build. My torches over here, so I always have access to them. And I always like to have a good amount of sticks on the buy, just in case I need them. So the first thing we're going to do in building our farm is we're going to collect seeds. And all this grass that you see right here is a good source of seeds. So, let's get to collecting. Typically what I do is what's called the lawnmower. And the lawnmower is you basically go and you find a nice little place where there's plenty of grass. Now if obviously you don't have that luxury, then you can't do this, but then you just kind of swing, you hold down your left mouse button, and you swing back and forth. Cuts a nice little swath of grass wherever you go, and hopefully you'll get some seeds just like that. You want to collect as much as you can, because the more that you obviously collect, the faster it'll be when you actually want to plant, and the more crops you'll have when you really need it. So, let's keep doing it. Alright, that is why it's called the lawnmower. So, as you can see, I have a decent amount of grass, so it's pretty quick. If it's more interspersed, you're going to have to be doing a little more jumping. It's going to take a little longer, which is okay. Alright, well, we've collected a good amount of seeds. Let's get to planting. So, we've already had a nice good amount of luck in actually having some water close to where we started, which is great. So what we want to do is we basically want to expand upon this water a little bit, organize it a little bit so that we can actually start planting some stuff. So I will return when that's complete. Alright, we're back, and not a moment too soon. As you can see, our little food bar is getting dangerously close to low, so we're going to finish up. What I've done is I've made it nice symmetrical, with water running along the side, so it looks kind of something like this when you're done. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put our hoe in one of our active slots, and we're going to select it, and we are going to till the fields. You just aim at it, right-click on a piece of dirt that's next to a piece of water, and that's all you got to do. Now the trick is, one side of this square has to be touching water, just one, in order for you to grow crops on it. So I could do this one, and I could still grow crops on it, but this one right here, no crops will grow, because as you can see, only the corners are touching it. There's no actual side touching water. So when you put a crop on this, it may grow, but it will take much, much longer. So it's best to just avoid those and go with the ones on the edges that you can actually grow stuff in, such as those. For the time being, I'm just going to put them down the middle, since it's a little bit easier to plant and see. So now that we've got it all nice and tilled, let's plant them up. As you can see, since I am completely out of food, my health bar will tick down until it reaches a half a heart. So it won't kill you to totally go hungry, but it will get you darn close and it'll be unsafe. So there we go. We're planted up. In the meantime, we're going to grab an auxiliary source of food just for now. That's going to be our sustainable source of food. Sometimes what you can do in the interim is to get something to put in your body. And in this case, the only thing I saw was pigs, so we'll go get some of that. You definitely want to stay at full hunger. You know, keep your hunger bar filled up as often as you can, because it will regen health. So if you're getting hit, you're not going to totally die. And you also won't lose health if you get hungry. So we're going to take out just enough pigs to kind of keep us going. Don't really want to kill them all. And while we're here, actually, we're going to kill 3 sheep. Look at the sun's going down, not a moment too soon. Yeah. Just 3 sheep is all you need. Alright, let's get back to base. Okay, now we're back in our base, so we want to do the first most important thing. Put up our temporary door. It's not a real door, but it'll do the trick. So now we've got a little bit of pork that we can use, but how do we eat it? It's raw. You cook it. So you can either put coal or charcoal. If you still haven't found any coal yet, you could have basically just gotten more wood, turned it into charcoal using some of your planks, and then you basically have something to put down in here to heat up and cook the rest of your food. We didn't kill any zombies, but we ran over some corpses that got burned by the sunlight, so we have some zombie flesh. Now you can eat zombie flesh, but as you can see at the bottom right, our status bar turns green, and you see little green bubbles. That means you're poisoned, which means you're hungry, which means you're also going to go through food. So it's almost counterproductive sometimes to eat the zombie meat, because it'll make you lose more hunger bubbles than you actually have. But if you're actually, like I was before, going really low and you're about to lose all your health like I did, it's okay to chomp one down so that you don't temporarily until you get some real food. So while this is cooking, you actually don't have to keep it open, but there we go, it's done. So our hunger bubbles went away. It's time to eat some real food, get our status bar filled up. And as you can see, now that we're full, our health will slowly regen. There's a half a bar. Alright, good stuff. Okay, and as you noticed before, I also grabbed 3 things of wool, or I killed 3 sheep in order to get 3 pieces of wool. And this is so that we can make a bed. Now early on, a bed's nice because it basically converts your spawn point. And this is the simplest way to put it, is you have 3 oak planks at the bottom, 3 things of wool at the top, and there's a bed. The nice thing about a bed is it creates a spawn point wherever you put it, and after you sleep on a bed once, that's where you're going to spawn from there on in. And you can actually bypass the entire night. So let's go ahead and do that now. And lo and behold, it's morning again. A little bit of time has passed. Our crops have gotten a little bit of growth on them. Not enough to actually harvest and use as food. So we're still probably, well, we got 2 pork chops left. We should be good. So we got a bed. We've got our basic workshop items, a furnace and an actual workbench. The next thing we need is some storage. So, using all those extra planks that we had, you're going to build, just like you did the furnace, only this time with wood, 8 blocks in a circle. Now the reason I did 2 is because we actually want 2 chests. And the reason for that is you can put one down and you get a small chest, that's about its storage. If you put one directly adjacent to it, it'll expand it and make it a big chest. Now the reason I do 5 by 5 is because between 2 big chests you have to leave a space. So our next chest is going to go right here. Alright, and there we go, some basic storage to just kind of load off some of these things that we really don't want to have to be hauling around all the time as we're exploring and collecting other resources to use later. Alright, so, and the only thing the note I was going to make about storage in general is as you expand and explore and you find more and more materials that you want to keep, just in case you might want to use it later, it's a good idea to get really organized in making different rooms that are dedicated to storing particular items. And on that note, we're going to exit this single player game. I'm going to show you my server and just show you kind of a little smaller, more organized version of a storage area. Alright, welcome back, and this is my server. This is the bank that I'm facing right now, which we built on top of a big mountain. I'll give a little brief tour of what we've done so far, but for now, since this video is just basically meant to show storage, I'm going to show you our bank. So what we've done here is we made a relatively elaborate system. I label each room with what kind of chests that we want. So over here is all different kinds of wood products, generically organized, dirt, all that kind of fun stuff. Over here is the stone room. And then I've segregated it into refined and then cobblestone, so pretty much anything unrefined. And then on the second story, we have all of our more rare things that you're going to be encountering as you progress through. So above each chest, since there's less of these kinds of things, this has got lots of obviously different objects in it. So it's got diamonds, nether quartz, etc. This one's all about iron, which we've been going through for our rail tracks. And then I kind of made this kind of like a kitchen, so it kind of looks a little obvious. So there's plants for alchemy, foodstuffs in this one, miscellaneous. So it kind of gives you a feel of how more and more organized you're going to want to get as you start going and farming more different things in Minecraft. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope it helped.